Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you are new to the channel, then welcome to you guys. Thank you to you as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is our watch list for Thursday, October 20th. We're going to go through it. We're going to go see the setups, how to jump in, and how to jump out. If you guys are new to the strat, new to trading, new to the channel, and you're struggling, this channel is going to make you profitable. It's going to make you consistent in your trading. You just have to put in the time and the effort to learn what we are teaching here, because what we teach here is by far the easiest strategy that you guys can learn to trade in the market. So before we get started, I want to jump into a few things. Number one, this platform, this screen that you see in front of you, this is a website called TradingView. It's how I plot and chart all of my trades. So you can get something like this. I have a link in the description below. So you go to the description, find the TradingView link. You click on that, you'll get a free 30-day trial to TradingView, to one of their subscription-based services. And then if you decide to use it, you get up to $30 off of that subscription, okay? So go check out that link now for your free 30 days on TradingView. Couple other things that I want to go through. I'm on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold, so you can find me there. You can ask me questions there. And please, if you guys have questions, comment down below. If you're winning on trades, comment down below. If you think the video sucks, comment down below. Give me a thumbs up on the video. It helps the algorithms to get this out to as many people as possible. So thank you guys for doing that in advance. I also have a Discord, the Griswold Trading Discord. That link is also in the description below. So everything that I offer for free or at a fee can be found in that Discord. Okay, so go there, go check out the Discord. There's a bunch of free rooms. There's a private section for the Griswold Gold members. The Griswold Gold members is a monthly subscription. It has items in there like the Griswold Strat indicator that we'll talk about a little bit as we go through the video. Has live trading bots, the top 5 plays that I send out to the group every day. It includes one-on-ones with myself, group chats with myself and the rest of the gold members. What else is included in there? Ad-free YouTube videos. Hey, there's a bunch of stuff that's included in there, but you can find it all in the Griswold Trading Discord. So that link is in the description below. And the last thing, real quick, guys, I know it sucks, no one likes it. The ads that roll through, the ads pay for these videos to be free. So thank you to the advertisers that put those ads on. And I thank you guys in advance and an appreciation towards you guys, because I know those ads suck and nobody wants to watch them. But by letting you let them roll through, it pays for this stuff to be free. So thank you guys. I appreciate it in advance for letting those ads roll through and not skipping ahead on them. Let's get into this list. So I want to go through SPY, because SPY, for the most part, until right here, where this candle broke the yellow line, traded on an inside day. And I sent out a message to the people in my Discord saying, I really wanted to take a SPY trade, but on inside days, they're really, really tough because it tends to chop around. And when I say chop around, if we look, this is the first candle that opens. We don't really get any great magnitude to the top side or the bottom side in any of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 30-minute candles. Even this one, the 6th 30-minute candle, it just kind of chopped around in this range, and there wasn't really anything to find a target on, really. So it made it really, really tough. And on inside days, and Cyberdog will tell you the same thing. Jermaine from Group Sepia, he'll tell you the same thing. He doesn't trade inside days because they're too tough. And I don't even think he trades inside weeks, because he's a long-term, he trades longer-term swing plays, but it's tough. It's not saying that it doesn't work, but the probabilities become much less of having successful trades when a ticker is still trading on an inside day. So we want to break out of that inside day in order to make sure we have successful trades. And again, it doesn't mean that you can't trade inside days and you won't be successful, but the probabilities become less when we have one of those. And you can see the best run that we had on the day was right here, off of the break of this bar here, or the break of this bar here, if you follow my 30-minute strategy, if we take this break, we had a really, really great run. And part and partial to that was because we broke out of that inside day off of this yellow line. Okay? So inside days are tough to trade. I didn't take this trade. I bowed out early because I thought SPY was going to trade inside day all day. And I don't really like sitting in front of my screen for 8 hours in a day. So you could have taken a trade here on SPY. You would have been successful. But then you see the rest of the day, we had this off of this inside bar. We kind of came up, and then we just kind of chopped around again to end the day. And unfortunately, that's what happens when, I mean, we weren't inside day at this point, but this is a lot of times what you'll see on an inside day on SPY. Okay, so let's go to the actual list. We'll jump into this stuff. QQQ, let's go to the day. QQQ had a 2 down that finished green, so that means we broke a 2 bar. You see these numbers here. That's part of the Griswold Strat indicator, as is this time frame continuity. We're going to talk about both of those, as well as this inside bar and this outside bar, the 1 and 3 bar painted a certain color. That's also part of the Griswold Strat indicator. You don't have to buy it as part of the membership. You can get it separately. That link is in the description below to get the indicator separately as well. But this was a 2 down. It's a directional candle. We only broke the low of the previous candle. So a 2 is a directional candle, meaning we only broke one side of the previous candle, and it was down. Okay, so a 2 down. We did finish green, though. So when we have a 2 down green, that gives me probability that this thing is going to continue higher. If we had a 2 up that finished red, like this candle right here, this red one was a 2 up, finished red, it gave me probability that we were going to trend down. And then we did. We just didn't hit targets. Okay, so on QQQ, 2 down, finish green, full time frame continuity looks really, really great. Going into Thursday, we're going to look for calls at 273.68, and we mark our targets at the top of the preceding wicks. And so the next target you would take, this is actually a really good example, because normally you take the top. Here I'm taking the bottom because we have a gap to fill. Okay, and I doubt we hit that high, but when we have a gap to fill, we just take the bottom of the preceding wick. Notice there's no candle here. Okay, so that's the gap, and in order to fill that, our target becomes the bottom, and then the next target can become the top. Okay, let's move on to Apple, AAPL. One of the members in the Griswold Trading Discord said he was only looking at Apple, and if it didn't trigger, he wasn't taking it. So Apple has an inside bar, painted yellow with the Griswold Strat indicator. Let's talk about inside bars if you're new, because inside bars are a consolidation candle, and I always tell people who are new or who are struggling to trade the inside bars, because usually off of the inside bars, probability tells us we get really, really nice breaks to the upside or the downside off of an inside bar. So an inside bar, also known as a 1 bar in the Strat, does not break the high, and it does not break the low of the previous candle. It stays within the range. It's a tightening range. Okay, so when you see these yellow candles, I want you to think of a spring becoming tightened, compacted, loaded. And what we're looking for is for that candle to break to one side or the other. And we gapped here, so we won't look at that one. But we'll go back and look at in time at the past inside bars. And you can see we triggered and we hit targets on the way down. A good trade. This one looks like we triggered and we hit targets on the way down. Another good trade. Inside bar, this one gapped. And they don't always work, but probabilities tell us that we trigger and we hit targets on the way up. Okay? This one was another gap play. This one was an outside bar. So we opened down here at a gap and came back up through. There's another gap. If you want to know how to play the gaps, I've got like 4 or 5 videos. I've got a playlist full of gaps on how to play them. If we gap up or down coming into the morning, there's a certain way to play those. You go check out those videos, you'll learn how. So on Apple, with this inside bar, full time frame to the upside, we can look for calls at 144.95, puts at 141.50, and the targets are marked out for you guys. Disney, 2 up red. So this is the opposite of what we were talking about on QQQ. We have a 2 up this time that finished red. So this gives me probability that we're going to trend down. We can look for puts at 98.50. First target at 97.64. If I'm taking triggers on this, strike prices, I'm looking probably at 98.50 if it's available, 98, something in that range, okay? And then I take the closest expiry. You don't have to. That's the way I like to do it. And when I trade during the day, because I'm not in trades very long, I like to see this hourly and this daily in the same direction, okay? So when we open, I want this day to be red. I want this hourly to be red. And that will happen if we trigger to the downside. If we start trending up, this hourly and this daily will be green. Okay, so I'm looking for these two to be in the same direction when I'm taking a trade during the day. And that doesn't matter if I'm on the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 30-minute, or the hourly. I need these two to be in the same direction. When we take these trades, guys, I like to hop down to a smaller time frame to manage the trade. So whether that's a 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute to manage it, 30-minute to manage it, different strokes for different folks. Different people use different time frames to manage those trades. You have to decide what works best for you. I like to go to the 5 because it reduces my risk the most. EW, Edwards Life Sciences, 2 down green. Time frame continuity all to the upside. We're going to look for calls at 86.77 and great magnitude to the top, just meaning targets, magnitude, where the bears have their stop losses, all means the same stuff. So we're going to look to trend to the upside on EW. NKE, Nike, has a 2 down green, so we're going to look for this thing to trend back to the upside. We're going to look for calls at 89.74. We've already broke out of the inside bar on the week to the upside, so we'll see if we can continue that trend back up on Nike. PayPal. What do we got on PayPal here? PayPal has a 2 down that finished green. We're going to look for calls at 85.76. First targets or order of magnitude are nice at 87.75. NVIDIA has an inside bar shooter candle. So shooter candles tend to be a bearish pattern. This one is green though, so may not be as much because it is green, but it is an inside bar nonetheless. That is an actionable signal. The problem that I have to the upside here is, actually, sorry, this is wrong. Let's move that there. I thought I had that done. Make that our trigger. There we go. So triggers on two ends of this inside bar. We can take calls at 123.50, puts at 118.34. Either way it rolls, we can take that trade on NVIDIA. I believe NVIDIA does have higher premiums though, so you may want to be cognizant of that. Inside bar on Tesla definitely has higher premiums. Calls at 222.93, puts at 217.78. And our targets are marked out accordingly to the top of the wicks for calls, the bottom of the wicks for our puts. Again, if you guys have questions, make sure you're commenting down below. Let me know what they are so I can help you out, okay? CRM, we have a 2 down that finished green. Full time frame to the upside. So calls are very possible here at 155.95. First targets at 158.96. We do have a gap to fill here. So if it trends down tomorrow, do not be surprised on Salesforce. Okay, Ford Motor Company, 2 down green. This is a big bullish green candle. We've got calls we can take at 12.14. First targets at 12.25. And we've got full time frame continuity to the upside. You notice those 2 pink lines there. Those 2 pink lines represent the weekly inside bar that used to exist. We have now gone 2 up on the week on Ford. So I would look for this to have a continuation to the upside on Ford Motor Company. The Metaverse, Facebook, inside bar. Okay, calls at 137, puts at 132.22, targets marked out accordingly. Last time we had inside bars, this was not the greatest of plays, but it still broke above. This one gapped up and ran really high. This one here, we hit triggers and then targets accordingly. Not great magnitude on it. This one here was a gap. This one here worked out really, really well. Triggers, targets, targets. Okay? We'll move on to Airbnb on the daily. So Airbnb has a 2 down that finished green. We're going to look for calls at 118.84. First target's marked out at 120.71. AMD has an inside bar. It's actually a 3-1 setup. So outside bar, inside bar. We're going to look for calls at 59.04 or puts at 56.57. The magnitude to the downside is not great. And a lot of times when we have these guys, what will happen is we'll open, we'll trigger, we'll target, we'll just come below, and then we'll run back up, and you'll never see that. You'll never see that target again. So be very cautious, and make sure your stops are tight on AMD. Amazon 2 down green. We'll look for calls at 116.59. First target's 119.52. GE, that's General Electric, 2 down green. Calls $70.98 is our trigger. 71.14 targets. Full time frame continuity outside of the year to the upside. IBM has an inside bar, and this is the one that I thought I was looking at before. So we basically have this inside bar candle. The high of the day was 123.94. The high of the previous bar's day was 123.94. So still considered an inside bar. We can realistically move this target up to there. Okay, so that becomes our target to the upside. Calls at 123.94, puts at 121.99 on IBM. MU also has, what do we have here on MU? An inside bar. And this one's a little tricky because we have had this outside bar, inside bar, outside bar. Just a lot of chop with Micron the last couple weeks. So we'll see at some point. We're basically stuck. This is what CyberDog would call, or Sarah Strat Sniper would call, a mother bar. Okay, so this big outside bar, everything's stuck inside of that. Inside bar, inside bar. This outside bar is stuck inside of that. This inside bar is stuck inside of that. Okay, so we're stuck. We're going to see if we can break out of this at some point. Calls at 53.43, puts at 52.06. Be cautious if you're trading on MU. Pinterest 2 down green. We're going to look for calls at, what do we got here? 23.33. First target at 23.57. If we go to the week we are still stuck on an inside bar. This is something CyberDog would not trade because he's a longer term swing trader. I would still trade this. We're going to look for, like I said, calls at 23.33 and no puts, sorry. First target's at 23.57. BYND, again, I'm not sure what the spread between the bid and the ask is on these. If they're too far apart, I will not play them. But we can look at calls at 14.17. First target's marked. Puts at 13.45, and the first target's marked for you there as well. If you're looking for a top 5, you can find him in the Griswold Gold membership. It's a great deal. You get a lot of stuff all packaged into one instead of buying everything individually. Go check that out on the Discord. Inside bars on CVS. Calls to the upside do not have great magnitude. 92.72, we've only got about a 9-cent move there before we hit first targets. 91.11 for puts, and first targets at 90.87. We are 2 up on the 3-month chart. So if we go to the 3-month, we have gone, sorry, we are 2 down. My bad. 2 down on the quarterly. Okay, we're also 2 down on the month for CVS. We come back into CVS off of that inside bar. We'll see how it plays out. And that's the list, guys. Hopefully it's informative. If you need more information on how to trade the Strat, end of the video, bottom right-hand corner, there's a playlist to help you guys learn even more than what we've done here. And there's also a SPY video on how to trade just SPY on a 30-minute chart every single day. That's on the top right. Go check that out. I wish you nothing but the best on Thursday, guys. Good luck trading, and we will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye. You make my heart beat super fast.